Hola mi gente, greetings, ¿cómo estamos? How are we? Hi Pisces, it's me, Che Alexander, La Negratienesazon of Sprinkle with Sazon Apothecary and Botanica. How are you? Happy November. I'm here with your astro forecast, your astro tea for the month of November. And I do implore you, I encourage you to go follow me on Instagram at negratienesazon so that you can get more of a full scope of what the first half of November has to offer. Pisces, it's a doozy. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna hold you. Okay, it's a lot going on. I don't know what the rest of your chart looks like. I always encourage you to peel that thing back, look into it, because these current transits, especially this first week from November 1st to November 9th, have a very strong fire elemental influence. There's also a lot of heavy fixed energy being affected by this. Leo, Aquarius, Taurus. Pisces, there is a little bit of a spotlight on you, particularly on the 10th when Neptune goes direct back into your sign of Pisces. It goes back home into Pisces. And then Saturn also will end its retrograde in Pisces and move forward, head directly into Aries on the 27th of this month. So that's a little bit later down, a little bit further down the hill. But that energy is still looming, it's still pending, and we're still all being affected by it, right? So what the astrology of November, the first half of November, is offering to you, Pisces, is the tail end of this clarity. Clarity sometimes can feel like confusion for you, Pisces, because no shade, no tea, but disillusionment is kind of your thing, right? You love the Delulu aspect. You love to see outside the box, to imagine what could be. And there really are endless possibilities. There really are so many alternate endings. And so you're not wrong in seeing that. Sometimes, though, there is a disconnection from reality, how those possibilities can be sustainable in the environment that we live in the circumstances that we live in. But there's nothing wrong with seeing, right, what is possible. So the disillusionment has kind of been stripped from you now while these planets have been in retrograde, trying to figure out different ways of seeing perspectives, right? Neptune being retrograde in Aries was confrontational. It's like, damn, have I really been playing myself? Like, again, Aries and Neptune, those are not two good friends. Those are two very, very different, distant cousins who look at each other and challenge the way that each other thinks. They've had different experiences in life. Neptune hasn't had to be as protective as Aries has had to be, right? And so there's not as much fight in Neptunian energy. Neptune likes to be at home, and Pisces likes to chill. Same thing with Saturn in Pisces. Saturn is aggressive, right? It is the father of Capricorn. It is the parent of structure and guidance and getting things right, being tactical and didactical. And Pisces don't like that shit. So it's been very uncomfortable to have these planets kind of chilling out in your sign, in your space, in your home, challenging you in all these ways. So over the last couple of months, Pisces, you may have been feeling very confronted by hard emotions, confronted with challenging aspects of relationships, right? People that you really loved, people that you really wanted to keep in your life. Maybe they've been confronting you, saying, hey, enough with that baby shit, enough with the Pisces delusion, enough with the laziness, enough with whatever. They may have been coming for your character. Even if those things are not aspects of your character, they may have been confronting you in other ways, saying, hey, why are you like this? Who are you really? And it's been forcing you to look at yourself in a particular way. So November brings in the culmination of that ridicule, or what feels like ridicule. It kind of takes the spotlight off you. It moves you from being under the microscope or under the magnifying glass, and it's going to allow you to kind of funnel yourself back into society where you don't feel like you're being scrutinized as much. This has been a difficult time where it comes to heavy emotions, and you kind of float around heavy emotions all the time, but you may have been feeling, again, personally attacked by the way that you carry things. Even collectively speaking, Pisces, if you are in organizing spaces, if you You attend demonstrations and protests, or you work in political atmospheres. People may be looking at you sideways, going, why does this thing in Gaza affect you so much? Why do you care so much? Why do you care who gets elected as mayor of whatever city, country, town, county, right? And for you, you may be taking it very personally, because you understand that the personal is political, but the environment or the people, community around you may be judging you and saying, oh, you're so sensitive. You always care so much, so deeply about things that don't even matter. And so now, as November comes to an end, when that Saturn and Pisces transit happens, you will feel more solid in your stance. Either, okay, yes, I am sensitive and you can take it or leave it, or maybe I am being really sensitive and I don't need to show it as much, or I can't show it to these people, or maybe I should dial it back a little bit. There's this introspection that comes out with a solid solution toward the end of the month. But the first half of the month, it's very passionate, very spicy, very hot, and a little bit heavy. So if you have prominent Taurus placements, Pisces, I really, really encourage you to lean into the earth aspects of your chart to try and tame some of the fire that's coming up, right? You don't need to go deeper into the waters, deeper into your Piscean emotions necessarily to cure this chaos and cure this confusion that comes with these more spicy transits. What you, I think, could benefit from Pisces is having more earth, more grounding, eating more provisions, right? Potatoes, edo, tania, yams, right? Plátano, things like that are hearty, yuca, stick to your ribs. Make sure that not that you get sluggish, but you can still move around, but you are grounded and rooted. You're eating food of the season wherever you live, right? You're eating the food that is natural to that season, not things that are being imported. And also touching grass, Pisces, going out. If the weather has turned where you are like it has where I am, we can go out and collect leaves and roll around in the leaf beds. We can't lay in the grass so much. It's too chilly for that. It's not as comfortable with our coats on, but we can still go and find a way to be in nature, go and hike, go to a botanical garden, do something that is seasonal, that is appropriate, but allows you to get out of the living room of your head. So, gracias a la misericordia de todos los Espíritus Santos y todos los Espíritus Buenos. Please, Spirit, tell me, what are the messages that we need to know for the Pisces collective at this time, for the month of November, and for the super full moon in Taurus. Queen of Cups is the first card out with the Page of Swords. Ace of Wands comes out then with the Seven of Cups. Ace of Wands is in reverse here. And Strength comes out. So Leo energy is here, heavy. The Emperor in reverse. Mars, Aries energy. Okay, 10. Clarify the 10. Ooh, 10 of Wands. Look at that, yeah. Okay. 10 of Wands is clarified by the 4 of Swords and the King of Cups in reverse. Okay, so what I'm really feeling very strongly here, that for some, obviously it's general for those of you who this applies to. This is Pisces, 10th house, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Chiron, North Node. Like I just said, when I was freestyling, I just said that there is a reckoning here, that this is the astrology. It leads into the astrology. It always influences and plays a role. You have to come to some understanding with yourself, Pisces. You cannot, we know that you kind of exist in the liminal space. You love to float in between two fish moving in opposite directions. We get it. We get it. We really do. We do. However, there is such a lack of safety in that space, because you get to teeter on the line, but then when do you get to experience the joy, the freedom of accountability? And I know that some Pisces can really struggle with accountability. But for those of you who have tasted it, does it not feel good to know exactly where you stand and to stand on it, right? The Seven of Cups energy comes out with this Ace of Wands in reverse. And so you see in the Seven of Cups, he's confused. The Seven of Cups energy is about having options, but also lacking discernment. You see so many shiny things, so many opportunities, things that you can play with, things that you can do. So you think that it's all for you. And you don't have to make these choices, Pisces. So here, you can say, I like what I like. I don't like option number one. But sometimes you sit in that liminal space and you entertain it. You don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. Somebody makes you a plate and it's full of shit that you don't like to eat. Because you're in their house, you don't want to hurt their feelings. And so you sample it and you try not to screw up your face and you spit it out when they're not looking. Why all the performance? Instead of just taking accountability, being polite, considerate, right, cordial, respectful, but being honest with yourself and thus other people, henceforth other people, and taking accountability. Thank you so much for this plate. This looks delicious, but I don't eat that. I don't eat that, so I'm not going to. So please don't be offended when I leave it on the plate. Or would you like to take it back? Right? Instead of being the friend in the group, the people pleaser, the person who's the yes person, you don't want to go to another bar for club hopping or for bar crawling. You're tired. Your party is done. Your day is done. Instead, you keep smiling and I'll pay for the next Uber and where we going next, knowing that your feet hurt and you're exhausted with the possibilities. There is a need to put your foot down and say, this is who I am. Yes, I am too sensitive. Not too. Yes, I am sensitive and that hurt my feelings. And you calling me sensitive actually makes me feel more sensitive. Now what? Own it, right? The King of Cups is here with the Queen of Cups. The King is in reverse. So I do feel like there needs to be, as you have this conversation with yourself, you have to give yourself permission. You also have to give yourself grace. Like you have to hold yourself and say, this is who I am. This is how it's affecting relationships. This is why this thing didn't work out. I feel like some of you are feeling like you're too weird for companionship. You haven't found your person because you are so misunderstood. No one sees you for who you really are, right? There's a lot of confusion. But really what Spirit is saying here is that once you accept your contract, your duty, your assignment to be the fucking weirdo that you are, step into whatever truth it is that God has gifted you, that's when you find true community. And that's when you stop feeling so lonely and so lonesome in this Four of Swords energy, trying to get back into the womb so that you don't have to worry about the worries of the world. No, you feel isolated, confused, abandoned, overburdened, overwhelmed because you're not living your true authentic self. That is affecting your ego, which affects how you show up in the world and who feels invited by your energy. Lastly, for Pisces, Five of Wands in reverse. This is fighting for your own light. This is the same person. This is an internal conflict. Fighting for your own light. You're losing your light fighting the different aspects of yourself. It's in reverse. So you're not showing up as the true warrior that you are, fighting for your right to be yourself. You're fighting instead yourself to be yourself. Which version of myself gets to show up today to fit into this crowd, into this environment, into this job space, into this relationship? And you don't need to do that. Just be your full authentic self. So November is calling you forward. Pisces, I would definitely recommend that in the fire, in the flame, under the light, the luminescence of the full moon in Taurus on Wednesday, that you burn away anything that makes you feel shame about who you truly are. Pisces, moon, take note of intuitive messages. The moon is your best friend. So use that moon, like I just said, to take intuitive messages. Release the old and rest. Release whatever old story you've been telling yourself about yourself, Pisces. I'm too much. I'm not enough. I talk too much. I don't talk enough. I'm weird. I'm strange. I'm sensitive. I'm misunderstood, I'm abandoned, people don't get me. Stop speaking that narrative in your mind. Stop speaking it out loud. Stop saying it. Stop telling it to anyone who will listen. And instead speak life over your life. And watch how that changes who you invite into your life, who feels welcomed once again by the warmth of your light. Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing. You know that you're a weirdo. You know that you're a weirdo, Pisces. It's the thing that we love the most about you. Embrace it. And share what you know. That strangeness, people in your family think you're weird because you're always talking about your Pisces and talking about astrology. Okay, find your community of astrology loving Pisces too. Throw a Pisces party so that you can meet more Pisces who love astrology like you. Your friends and family and your co-workers think you're weird because you bring gluten-free muffins to the vibe. Find yourself a gluten-free forum on Facebook or some shit. I don't know where the people be at. Okay, I be in here with my spirits. But your community exists, but they can't find you because you're not being yourself. I love you, Pisces. I hope that was helpful. Happy November. Happy almost full moon in Taurus. And if this was helpful for you, please put a little fishy in the comments. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Go follow me on Instagram, negratienesazon. And if you don't know, where's the water in your chart? Where's the earth in your chart? Where's the fire in your chart? Do consider coming and studying with me in elemental equilibrium. I'll share all that information soon. I love you. Peace, Pisces.